And this sea evaporated to the top and the bottom of the ball. And the ice came down. And in 3 months, the whole top of our earth was covered in kilometers and kilometers of ice. Also the bottom of the land, but not so much land on the bottom of the planet. A little Africa, a little South America, a little Australia. Most of the land is on top of the planet as we exploded up. And all the people and all the land on the top, they all froze to death. Billions of people. All the lands became ice. And we call this next part of the story Alt-Land East, or what we call Atlantis. Alt means all the. Land means land, and East means ice. All the lands became ice. Today we have Frankenland, France, Switzerland, Poland, Saxonland, Netherlands, Denmark, mark means land, the land of Dan, Svealand, Sweden, Greenland, Iceland, Rusland, Russia, it's called Rusland, the land of roses. And all these lands became ice. Below the Pyrenees Mountains, it didn't freeze. Spain, Portugal, Italy, Greece, Libya, Morocco, Algeria, Gambia, Nigeria. There was no ice, so the people, they lived. But on the top of the planet, all the lands became ice. But something happened. We call one Udin thing, one sun thing. When the planet, when it shifted, and now we get this ice on top, we get a new North Pole. The true pole is still over here. It comes on one island in front of Helsinki still today. But now we get this new North Pole, the new ice at the top. There had been this warm water that comes from Mexico. It goes over the top of this ball. It's called the Gulf Stream. It's some warm water that leaves from Mexico. It goes up over the top of Norway, over the top and around and around. But when this ice came down, as this warm water came up, it couldn't go over the top anymore because the ice stopped it. It couldn't turn on itself and go back to Mexico because there's more warm water coming behind it. So this warm water came up to the top, was rerouted down the coast of Norway, past Germany, and went into the Gulf of Finland. It was rerouted to the old North Pole. There the water went over to where Leningrad, to where St. Petersburg is today, and there it couldn't go anymore, and it turned on itself and made one rosette of warm water in the Finnish Gulf of Mexico, the Finnish Gulf. And as this ice came down, as this snow came down, it melted and created one hole in the ice at the old North Pole. And hell, all people thought that hell froze over, but it didn't. And these Oz people who gave me this story, they survived. But now they're living in one hole in the ice. They can't come out. Kilometers of ice on all sides. But completely couldn't speak with the rest of the people. In the southern part of the planet, the people lived. The Van people, India, China, Australia, South America, Middle America, Africa. The people didn't freeze. So the Van people, they still survived, but there was no more communication with hell anymore. There were 10 of these Rabis who were outside the ice. 10 of these breeders coming out from Ra. And they divided the planet into 10 races of people, 10 tropical races. Brown eyes, brown skin, vegetarian. And these 10 races of people each got one mythology. There's 11 mythologies on the planet. And each one of these 10 races, They changed the Van language and gave each one of them a different language. The sun created 10 different arts because each one of these races would be one art. I'll start with the Polynesians. It's where I live. Hawaii, New Zealand, the Maori people, Tonga, Samoa, Tahiti. These are all called Polynesian people. Beautiful people. And they have their outlook and they have their art. Different than the other people on the planet. And each race has a different heart form. So in this new system, there were 10 different arts or 10 different hearts. So the Polynesians, they're one of these 10. 50 million, 10,000, and 28 years ago, we get the Polynesians. If you come over from the Polynesians, you come to Australia. There we have one man called the Aborigine. The Apa-original people, the Apa-original, the Ape-original people, the Aborigine. And he's his own race. And he has his own art. If you come up from the Aborigine, you have another race of people called Hindu. And Hindu is what we call India today. And these beautiful people in India, they talk like this. And they were all the way from Bali, where we sit now, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Hindustan, we call it Hindustan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Rajasthan, Hindustan. And these Hindu people don't look like the Aborigine. And they don't look like the Polynesian. They were the third race. And in Hindustan they had one king called Narkasur. And he lived in one place called Pushkar, a place in Rajasthan today. If you go above the Hindu people, you come to what we call the Chinese people. And the Chinese was another race of people. They don't look like the Hindu. They don't look like the Polynesian. They don't look like the Aborigine. For me, the Thai people are originally Chinese. The Japanese are originally Chinese. All these people in China with this beautiful, beautiful eye. For me, the most beautiful eye on the planet. So the Chinese was the fourth race. And they had one king called Peking. The king of the P, the king of the circle. If you come over from the Peking people, the Chinese people, you come to the fourth race of people. Polynesian, Aborigine, Hindu, Chinese, the fifth race of people we call Persian today, Persia. And this is from the Greece all the way up, Turkey, all these, what we call the Middle East today. And they were one race of people, one very beautiful race of people, these Persian people, Persian. If you come over from the Persian people, you come to what we call the Roman. And Roman are these beautiful honeycomb, beautiful noses. And this was all Italy, Spain, Portugal, Libya, Egypt, Morocco, Algeria. And these are one race of people, all this kind of golden honey color. If you go south from this North Africa, you come to another beautiful race of people we call the blue people, the African people. And they don't look like anybody else. They have their own art. And all this Africa, we don't call them blacks, we call them blue. Their skin is really blue if you look.